Cinema Shogun here, and it appears that the FBI is interviewing a lot of Bryan Kohberger's old friends and classmates. In fact, they are going so far as to interview some of his middle school classmates and his middle school crush. Now, I do find this interesting, and as we all know, law enforcement is still asking the public to come forward with whatever information they have on Bryan Kohberger, and I urge anyone, if you have a story to tell, come forward. Sometimes it's those little pieces to the puzzle that really make the clearer picture. They make the picture clearer. So, I mean, even if you think you have information that's insignificant, you never know. A lot of times investigators are trying to piece together information that could give them a better idea of the type of person, sometimes these criminals are. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and hop right into this article so we can get some more information. But first, a quick word from this video's sponsor. This video's sponsor is the Swag It app, a cool new app that allows you to share short form videos of whatever you're interested in. If you're interested in true crime, if you're interested in cooking, sports, it doesn't matter. You can share your interest right on Swag It. Also, you earn swag bucks when you share videos and you like other people's videos, and you could use those swag bucks to buy gift cards or cash it out for cash. It's an easy, free way to support my channel, and you get more free content from me and some of your favorite other true crime YouTubers. So if you're interested in true crime or just anything in general, be sure to follow me on Swag It. And when you do, if you click the link in the pinned comment and you follow me on Swag It, you're automatically entered into giveaways. We just gave away $100, giving away $50, we're giving away another $100. There's going to be money given away all over the place. So go follow me on Swag It. But now let's go ahead and hop right into this article. FBI agents have interviewed Bryan Kohberger's middle school crush in hopes of piecing together the psyche of the man they believe is responsible for the gruesome unalivings of 4 Idaho college students. Kim Kennelly, 27, contacted the Bureau shortly after learning her former classmate had been arrested for allegedly unaliving 4 housemates to death at a university just 15 minutes from where he was studying in November. The two were 6th grade students at Pleasant Valley Intermediate School in Brodheadsville, Pennsylvania, when Kohberger, 28, developed a crush and began romantically pursuing the girl who would go on to be a high school cheerleader. She told the FBI whatever she could tell them, Kennelly's mother Sandra confirms. It was so long ago I couldn't imagine what she had to tell the FBI. I guess it was for the character purpose. Kohberger, then a chubby, awkward misfit, would become relentless in his pursuit, repeatedly leaving love letters in her locker and telling her he liked her, according to the mom. Let's pause right there because I'm already getting the creepy crawlies. Whew. Ladies, if you're watching this video, I know some of you all have had a tough life. I know that some of you all haven't been in the best of relationships. But just be thankful in this moment that you did not get love letters from Kohberger. Be thankful in this moment that in high school you didn't have to go to your locker only to have letters from Kohberger. That's got to be traumatizing. Looking back on that, wonder if she kept Kohberger's letters in like a little box under her bed. A little box full of memories, and now you have these old school letters from some dude who just allegedly did something really insane. But I see how they use the word relentlessly pursuing. And is this just a normal middle school crush? Or was Bryan already showing signs back then that he would easily become obsessed with people? Have you ever watched the show You on Netflix? The first couple of seasons were good. The 3rd season gets way too woke for me. But it shows you like how some people just get so obsessed with other people and how quickly sometimes humans can become infatuated with other humans. And it's so weird to me because I'm the exact opposite. It takes a long time for someone to warm up to me. I'm not interested ever in someone at first glance, but sometimes people can form these obsessions with people. But let's go ahead and dive back into the article. He would always say, "Oh, Kim, I think you're very pretty." Just like weird comments, and she'd say, "Oh my God, leave me alone." She did not give him the time of day, the mom noted. When kids are little, they're mean. They don't say, "Oh my God, thank you," but no. Kennedy would eventually tell Kohberger to buzz off, breaking his heart. At the time, she lived in, I don't even know how to, Sciota in rural eastern Pennsylvania, 90 miles north of Philadelphia and a 30-minute drive from Kohberger's home in Albrightsville. She had since left the area and lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, where she works as an occupational therapist at an assisted living facility. Kennedy's awkward schoolyard encounters with Kohberger are among several bizarre accounts to emerge from former friends and witnesses in recent days that paint the picture of a troubled, disgruntled young man who didn't fit in at school. Former classmates have revealed Kohberger was heavy-set in the subject of bullying and cruel taunts in middle school. The whole clique of popular girls made fun of him in school. They were the cheerleaders and the ones that every kid had crushes on. They literally tortured him. Girls started making fun of him in middle school. But Kohberger seemed to turn his life around in high school, where he took up boxing and lost weight. He was a totally different person. He worked out constantly and was super aggressive. He had a short fuse and was constantly trying to change his style and personality to fit in with cliques. And that's a common theme that I've noticed from all of these people who knew Kohberger. They all noticed a certain change in him at a certain age. And we often hear these bullying stories, and listen, I understand growing up can be tough for some people. Bullying, it can be serious for some people, but I never like it when it's used as an excuse for someone to do something crazy. We see it all the time in these horrific situations that are happening in schools all the time in America, and bullying's always the excuse. I'm not saying that bullying is okay or it's right, but it's not an excuse, at least not in my eyes. And honestly, if you look at kids these days, some of them need to be bullied a little bit. Like, I think a little bit of bullying sometimes isn't necessarily bad. Does that make sense? Bullying isn't good, but sometimes it's not necessarily always bad, in a way. But what Kohberger was going through, I think it made him resent women. Obviously, we hear that he didn't have much luck with women. They would bully him, and I think that probably made him grow into a bitter person. I don't think he ever had much success with women. And maybe that's why he chose to target women in his attack. But also, what's crazy about this is, the sick and twisted part about this all is, we hear how unpopular Bryan was with the ladies. But I can guarantee you now, Bryan will be more popular with women than he has ever been in his entire life. Bryan was unpopular with the ladies as he's in college, pursuing a very successful career. Bryan would have, I believe that if Bryan didn't do this, Bryan would have had a successful life. Bryan's in college. He's got a bright future ahead of him. No ladies want anything to do with him. But now that Bryan's alleged brutally unaliving 4 college students and he's going to be in jail probably for the rest of his life, now women will pay Bryan attention. Now Bryan will have women writing him letters. Women will propose to him. We see it all the time, and it's so sick, twisted, and weird. But it shows you the mentality of some people. And to be more specific, it shows you the mentality of some women. I never understood why it's always like this with serial killers. A fun story. One time I made some comments about what was, I think, the Night Stalker guy, that guy, he had a documentary on Netflix. I made some comments about him and I got so much hate mail. Literally. I made some joking comments about a serial killer. And it was some of the worst pushback I've ever gotten for any of my videos. Literally, dozens of women writing to me, angry and upset, because I said something negative about someone who took the lives of countless people in horrific ways. So when it comes to Bryan Kohberger, I would assume that now he's going to get attention from women that he never ever got when he was a free man, before he did this heinous act. And why are some people like this? I think it goes back to show you the true animalistic, barbaric nature of humans. Like, it's hard to explain, but it's something that I believe is sometimes implanted in people's DNA that goes back years and years and years and years, where sometimes for some women, they see someone who has taken other people's lives, and they view that almost as if that's like an alpha male, someone who's more protective. Because back in the day, in the old tribal life, you wanted the guy who had killed the most enemies. You know, you wanted the guy who killed the most animals and brought the most meat home. And in the animal kingdom, it's the same way. So it's something that's tribalistic, animalistic, and barbaric in nature that is implanted in some people's DNA still, to where they feel that attraction to people who take the lives of others. It's really weird. And I would argue that people like that maybe need to be in jail as well. But it is what it is. Some of the women watching this video right now are the same way. So I don't know why people act the way they do, but I do think you could basically, when it comes to that particular topic, I think you could really trace it back to our roots and how animalistic we are, or we used to be. We've come a long way, but there's still people that like that type of stuff. So I think that's the reason why a lot of women are attracted to these mass murderers. It's really creepy. It's really weird, but there's no denying that it's true. And I know some women will come in my comment section now trashing me because I made these comments as if they've never heard of anything like this before. But you all know what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying that men aren't the same, but I can't really think of many cases where men are like this. I think it's something that affects women more because men look for something else. Even when you go back, when you trace back to the beginnings of time, men weren't necessarily looking for those qualities or those traits in women, whereas women were looking for those traits in men or in males in the animal kingdom or whatever. But let me know your thoughts about all of this down in the comments below. I don't want to go too far down that path, but maybe that's a conversation we'll have another day. I think it's an interesting conversation. I think I have some interesting opinions to add to the conversation. I'm sure you all do as well. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I will talk to you all in the next video.